Hello everyone, this is the 13th video of the series Continuity and Differentiability. So let us begin. We are given x is equal to e to the power log x is true for what values of x? That means we have to find the domain where this equation satisfies. Alright, so x is equal to e to the power log x. Okay, so let us take log both the sides, because taking log is the only option here, because e is raised to some function of x. Alright, so log of x is equal to log of e to the power log x. Alright, so you know log x is equal to log x into log of e, and base is e, that is an understood thing. So log x is equal to log x into 1. So you get log x is log x, which is true. That means your equation is true. That means the equality is true here, because log x is equal to log x. Taking anti-log both the sides, you get left hand side as x and right hand side as x. Alright, but our motto is to find the domain. Means for what values of x will this equation satisfy? Means is it satisfying for all the real numbers, or is there any certain range of x where only where the function is going to satisfy? So you see one thing, the moment we apply log both the sides, means when we apply log x, we constrain our x here, because you know, if we talk about log function, the graph goes like this, right? Y is equal to log x, and you know the domain of log function is r plus, है ना? Means this x cannot be a negative one or even 0. Means the domain has to be real number, because you would have never seen anybody asking you to find log of minus x or log of 0, because they simply don't exist. Because you see the graph of log function, the graph is not even crossing the y-axis, it's all beyond the y-axis at the right hand side. So domain of log function is r plus. So the moment you apply log function in order to satisfy this, you constrain your x. So that means your x should belong to a real number, positive real number. And you see, there is no other way to satisfy this. There is no other way. You have to apply the log function, and the moment you apply log function, your x has to be a real number only, positive real number. That means not 0 and not anything less than 0. Now derivatives of functions in parametric forms. Till now, when you were asked to find the derivative of function, suppose y is equal to fx. Okay, y was some function expressed in the terms of x, and you had to differentiate it. So you were differentiating it with respect to x, simply doing dy dx, right? And it is quite easier to do. But what happens when y is expressed in the terms of some variable and x is separately expressed in terms of any other variable? Suppose see, if you are given y is equal to cos theta and x is equal to sin theta. And now if you are asked to find the derivative with respect to x, suppose dy dx, now what you are going to do? Okay, so you see, individually y is equal to cos theta is an implicit equation. Individually x is equal to sin theta is also an implicit equation. Both have one thing in common. The variable that is used, means the parameter here is theta. Parameter is theta for y also. The parameter for x is also theta. So if you are individually going to differentiate dy dx, if you are going to differentiate dy dx from taking this equation into consideration, you will get dy dx is 0, because this term is independent of x, so it is a constant one. So ultimately you are going to get 0. And here, if you differentiate dx in the terms of y, if you differentiate x in the terms of y, here also you are going to get 0. So you are not getting any idea what we have to do here. Getting? So now you see, You cannot differentiate y in the terms of x, but they both have one thing in common, that is their parameter. The parameter is theta here also. So you can differentiate both of them with respect to theta. See, if you do particularly for this example, if you do dy d theta, alright, and you do dx d theta, you know this can simply be done. If you have to differentiate this with respect to theta, you are going to get y dash is your minus sine theta, है ना? And if you are going to differentiate x in the terms of theta, you will get x dash is your cos theta. Alright, so you can individually find dy d theta, dx d theta. Now, if you divide both of them, see dy d theta whole divided by dx d theta. Now you see it's dy d theta into d theta by dx. Both of them get cancelled, so you get dy dx. Alright, so your next step is going to be the division of both of them. That's it. You have to do y dash upon x dash, and that ultimately results in dy d theta, dy dx. Alright, so this is your entire procedure. We will know better about it through some examples. The general form is this. See, x is defined in the terms of some parameter t. Okay, for the last previous example we took the parameter as theta. Here I am taking it as t. So here x is defined in the parameters t. X is a function of t. Similarly, y is a function of t. So if you have to find dy dx, you are going to find dy dt and dx dt. Alright, now you will divide both of them, dy dt whole divided by dx dt. This results in dy dx. Alright, so this is ultimately what you are going to do. Alright, how? You see, dy dt, this becomes the reciprocal when you multiply dt dx. Alright, both the dt dt gets cancelled, so dy dx, you will obtain it. Suppose x is your at square and y is equal to 2at, where a is a constant. Alright, constant, and the parameter here is t, because x is defined in terms of t. X is a function of t, y is also a function of t, a is a constant, and you are asked to find dy dx. Alright, so first you will find dy dt, which is your 2a. Okay, dx dt, which is your a is constant, t square ka 2t. Alright, so you individually got dy dt, dx dt. Divide both of them, dy by dt whole upon dx dt gives you dy dt is your 2a, dx dt is your 2a t. Alright, now this results in dy dx, you know this, and here it comes like 1 upon t, because 2a get cancelled. So ultimately your dy dx is 1 upon t. So this is your required answer here. Okay, x is your cos theta minus cos 2 theta, y is sin theta minus sin 2 theta. Find dy dx. Alright, you see x is expressed in the terms of theta, means the parameter involved here is theta for both of them. Alright, so if you have to find dy dx, first of all you will individually differentiate both x and y with respect to theta, because that is what you can only do. So dx d theta means cos theta minus sin theta. Alright, here minus of cos 2 theta minus sin 2 theta, and further 2 theta will be differentiated, which will leave 2 here. So you get 2 times sin 2 theta minus sin theta. Alright, as dx d theta. Now dy d theta, sin theta का डिफ्रेंशिएशन cos theta और sin 2 theta का डिफ्रेंशिएशन cos 2 theta, और 2 theta will further be differentiated, okay, because applying the chain rule, which leaves 2 here, so you get cos theta minus 2 times cos 2 theta. Alright, so now if you have to find dy dx, you know you are going to divide both of them with dy d theta as the numerator. So dy d theta divided by dx d theta gives you what? Cos theta minus 2 times cos 2 theta whole upon 2 sin theta, 2 sin 2 theta minus sin theta. Alright, till now you have this. Now you have already gotten, see, theta theta will get cancelled. Ultimately this results in dy dx, and just you have to simplify this if it is further simplifiable, whatever. With this you can solve variety of questions from parametric form. Look at this question, this is a technical one. X is your under root a raised to the power sin inverse t, and y is equal to under root a raised to the power cos inverse t. You can easily see that the parameter is t here. Alright, so you know if you have to find dy dx, you have to find dy dt and dx dt, right? But finding this requires lot of mechanism here. You have to apply the older concepts that you have read in this chapter. See how. X is your under root a to the power sin inverse t. Alright, this can be written as a sin inverse t to the power 1 by 2, है ना? So this becomes a, these exponents get multiplied, right? 1 by 2 sin inverse t. Now look at this, x is equal to a to the power 1 by 2 sin inverse t. A is raised to some function of t, so you will apply log here. Alright, so if you apply log both the sides, log of x is your half sin inverse t log a, base is your e. Alright, so when you simplify this you get this. Now you have to differentiate both the sides with respect to t in order to obtain dx dt, है ना? So you know how you have to do this because you just read it in the previous lecture. Log x will give you 1 by x, but x will further be differentiated with respect to t, giving dx dt is equal to half log a is constant, we'll bring it this side as it is, and sin inverse t differentiated, you only have to differentiate sin inverse t with respect to t because this is the only term that contains the parameter t. So this is your half log a sin inverse t ka 1 upon under root 1 minus t square. This is your direct formula, I am applying it. So dx dt gives you, your x will come this side, which is under root a sin inverse t, alright, log a whole upon 2 times under root 1 minus t square. A to the power 1 by 2 sin inverse t into log a whole upon 2 under root 1 minus t square. Alright, so this is your dx dt. Similarly, you will find dy dt also. You see, this was the conventional method to find dx dt. Now I'll introduce you to some property of log in order to find dy dt. See, whenever suppose your function is a to the power x, alright, and you have to differentiate this. Y is equal to a to the power x, and if you have to find dy dx, means differentiating this term with respect to the parameter x. So this is simply a to the power x log a. This is a property of log. You can jot it down in your notebook so that you remember it and can instantly apply this. Now see, y is your under root a to the power cos inverse t, which is also a raised to the power 1 upon 2 cos inverse t. Alright, now if you have to find dy dt means this is something like a raised to the power t, or it is not actually t but some function of t, and you know if it is a function of t, you have to apply the chain rule. So you see, this is something like y is equal to a to the power some function of t. Alright, so if you have to differentiate this with respect to t, it's simply a to the power f of t into log a, है ना? But this f of t will further be differentiated applying the chain rule, so it is d by dt of f of t also. So this is your final thing. We are going to do this here. dy dt is a to the power 1 by 2 cos inverse t log a. Alright, but this will further be differentiated, so that means d by dt of half cos inverse t. So this is dy dt is equal to a to the power 1 by 2 cos inverse t log a upon 1 by 2 cos inverse t का minus under root 1 minus t square, है ना? So this is your direct formula of cos inverse t, minus 1 upon under root 1 minus t square. कर दिया. So this is your dy dt. अब dx dt मिल गया, dy dt मिल गया, डिवाइड कर दो आप. dy dt whole upon dx dt gives you dy dx, and you will find this on your own and tell me what you have obtained as the answer. Alright, thank you.